Martin Shkreli of Turing Pharmaceuticals has agreed to lower the price of Daraprim, a drug that his small pharmaceutical company purchased for $55 million, and then raise the price from $13.50 a pill to $750 per pill. Yeah. Now, of course, he's gotten a lot of negative attention for this, and when he tried to explain himself, it only led to more negative attention because his reasoning behind increasing the drug's price made absolutely no sense whatsoever. He says that we need newer drugs to treat something known as toxoplasmosis, and it turns out that we don't necessarily need that, and also you shouldn't be taxing patients for new and upcoming drugs. Now, Martin Shkreli did not say what the new price would be, but expected a determination to be made over the next few weeks. He also says of the reaction that he's been getting, yes, it is absolutely a reaction. There were mistakes made with respect to helping people understand why we took this action. I think that it makes sense to lower the price in response to the anger that was felt by people. Now, I find it interesting that he won't admit or even tell us what he would lower the price to. He's like, oh, we're going to lower it enough so we either break even or make a little bit of a profit. Except I don't think he's going to lower the price at all. I think he's hoping that we're going to ignore him or forget about him in the next few weeks, and then he'll continue selling this drug for an insane amount of money.
So I think this guy is monumentally full of shit. And so let me break it down for you, though, in terms of exactly what I mean by that. Will he lower the price? Well, I'm sure he will to some degree, but to what? I mean, it used to be $13.50. Is he going to lower it to $15 from $750 that he'd raise it to? Of course not, right? So is he going to lower it to $650? Well, that would continue to be a crime, right? That's an unbelievable difference between $13.50 and $7.50. So, yeah, he could technically lower it, but it doesn't matter. He's going to make money hand over fist. That's the whole point of this. And then he says, well, look, you got to understand, we spend a lot of money on research, blah, 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 blah. No.
You didn't spend money on anything other than buying the drug.
You bought the drug. You didn't spend any money on research. You didn't build that, right? He claims he's going to build the next drug. Yeah, I'll believe that when I see it, right? There's no evidence that he's spending any money in that direction. And so, and then when they ask him about this, he says, quote, it's very hard stuff to understand.
He's so sophisticated and so intelligent and intellectual. And unfortunately, we just can't understand all the hardships that he's going through right now with buying this drug and selling it for, what is it? I think 5,000 times the original price.
Yeah. So it's an old Wall Street and corporate trick to say, oh, no, these derivatives, they're so complicated. What the Federal Reserve does is so complicated. It's hard for you to understand. You plebeians, you have simple minds. Just leave the hard stuff to us, okay? There's a very good reason why I had to rob you blind. It's very complicated to explain to you, though, right? And in case you're wondering, wait, is that true? I mean, is it hard to understand? What do other people in the field think? Well, the Infectious Disease Society of America and the HIV Medicine Association all find the cost completely, quote, unjustifiable, right? So, no, of course it's not. Now, in all those costs that he talks about and how, oh, my God, I don't know if I'm going to break even, the one cost that he doesn't mention is financing costs. Okay, now, why is that? Because what happens is this is a trick that he's done before and some others have done before. You buy a piece of medicine that is very much needed. You can't go without it, right? If you have an infectious disease like this, if you don't have this, it could kill you, right? And so you buy it and there's no competitor, and then you jack up the price. Since now the industry is aware of that practice, there becomes a little bit of a bidding war, okay? And so the price gets bid up. And once you bid up the price and you already paid all that money, well, there's financing cost that goes along with that purchase. So he's got to make the financing cost up, and he already built that into the price. So several different people got rich off of this already, including the people who sold it. So now he can't tell you most of the money is going towards financing because it sounds like financial tricks, which is exactly what it is, right? And so that's why he's going to say, oh, yeah, other medicines and research costs, and he's not telling you his main costs. Right? So that's why he cranked it up to $750 so he could pay off the financing on a purchase he probably paid too much for because he knew he was going to do this trick, right? And still make a gargantuan profit.
We live in a sick society, and one of the biggest mistakes you can make in America is getting sick or getting injured. Because there are people out there preying on you, waiting for that situation so they can take advantage of you. Like you said yesterday, Cenk, what happens to people who have this condition and they can't afford this price?
And you don't have insurance. And by the way, one of the reasons that people, I don't know this, and I haven't read in anything. This part is speculation, but as usual, it's grounded in facts and other contexts that I've read. I'd be surprised if this guy didn't get thrown under the bus, and a place he richly deserves, by the way, for a couple of reasons. One, the insurance companies are like, wait, I'm going to pay this bill, right? For most people. Okay, so you're going to fuck with me and you're going to charge me this money?
That's a good point.
Okay. Hey, little 32-year-old punk who's not backed by any other giant corporate entity. Okay, I think you don't know who you fucked with, right? So I would be shocked if the insurance companies didn't have a role to play in this guy being, the spotlight being on this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
Secondly, Hillary Clinton sent out a tweet about this. Again, this guy's got no backup. No, you don't have to feel sorry for him because he appears to be a dirtbag, right? But it's easy to throw a guy with no backup under the bus, right? There's no giant entity that's going to come in and fight back against you.
Yeah.
So it's an easy target for a politician to pick where they seem like a tough guy, they seem like they're doing the right thing, they seem like they're progressives, and they pick an easy target. Now, if you're going to be a progressive and you're going to go after the insurance companies, you're going to have a different fight on your hands. Then they're going to fight back. You're going to have negative ads. You're going to have contributions to your opponents, etc. So that is the background for this very interesting story all of a sudden being in the news.